Of course, you and me who are going to have our home. So, without spending much time, I would like request Anaga to introduce the speaker and the subject, and then Amol will take over. So, over to you, Anaga, for the introduction.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anaga Bhadkamkar. I am an architect and have been practicing for past few years. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's webinar, Architect Amol Deshmukh. This introduction is especially meaningful to me. During my architectural degree, I had the opportunity to attend one of Architect Amol Deshmukh's webinar as a student. Today, having the honor to introduce him on this platform feels like a true full circle moment, and I am delighted to welcome him. As the founder and principal architect of Studio Adda, established in 2014, architect Amol Deshmukh has built a practice that seamlessly blends India's rich architectural heritage with contemporary design thinking. A graduate of College of Architecture, Nashik, and Masters in Theory and Design from CEPT University, Ahmedabad. His work reflects a deep commitment to culture, research, and innovation. His contribution has earned widespread recognition. He received the Akshara Grant from documenting India's temple architecture, with his work appreciated by eminent scholars such as Dr. George Michel and Padma Bhushan Professor M.A. Dhaki. Studio Adda was recognized among India's young and unique practices under Breaking the Barrier by Doshi Vinu, and his work has been acknowledged by the legendary Pritzker Prize laureate architect Balkrishna V. Doshi. His projects has been shortlisted among Asia's finest by 2A International magazine, exhibited by the Polytechnic University of Madrid, Spain, and he proudly represented India as one of the youngest speakers at the Forum of International Architects in Madrid. His achievements also include the Jagriti Yatra National Scholarship, the Saint Gobain Grant 2024 for the Sustainable Puka House project, and the title of Young Emerging Architect by Syphilis Creative Magazine, where he was featured on one of its January 2026 edition. Beyond the accolades, architect Amol Deshmukh is a researcher, educator, and a mentor who has inspired countless students and professionals through lectures, workshops, and academic engagement across the country. His philosophy reminds us that architecture is not merely about designing building, it is about shaping experiences, preserving culture, and creating spaces that enrich lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker. Please welcome architect Amol Deshmukh.
Thank you, Girija, for this wonderful introduction. I request Amol to start his presentation. You have 40 minutes, so you can take up to 10:45, and then we will have a question and answer. Please have the time management. Over to you, Amol.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Anaga, for the kind words and the lovely introduction. I really appreciate. First of all, I'm really grateful to the Institution of Engineers India who has given me the opportunity to present my work and my thoughts on this wonderful platform, the Sunday Tech Talk Forum. And special thanks to Pune Local Center and the Tech Forum. Also, I'm thankful and grateful to Bhadkamkar sir and Rabde sir, who really uh, took efforts to go out of the way and introduce this new subject on this tech forum. So
Please
this,
speak little loud.
yeah, and so the seminar talks about how to read a building, and I would just like to tell you that this is not a very technical topic, but it would be like wherever I have traveled, and I'll be sharing two photographs and explaining what I have learned through my travel and people I met over there. And there are a few stories which I'll be sharing with you. So it's just like when you go across traveling and when you come back home and you meet your family and friends and share what your experiences in the similar manner, I'm going to do that today. So thank you so much. So that's there. And today is the Sunday talk, and I'm thankful to all the participants who on the Sunday morning has joined this talk. Thank you so much. So this is the topic: how to read a building, and in the bottom you can see there are travel, people, and stories. So this is what we are going to look at one by one. The thing is that I have my school friends who are not into architecture or non-architects, and my neighbors. They always see me not at home and traveling a lot. So they always ask me this question: "You travel a lot. Why do you travel so much?" This question is always there whenever they meet me, whenever we hang around. So the and I believe that the participants and the viewers are mostly the younger generation, the students who are into the college or the young professionals. So I tell them the answer is this. Everyone knows that this is Instagram. It's like I love to click photographs and I love to post them. And wherever I travel, I post the photos on Instagram. So Instagram actually helped me to travel and motivated me to travel. And the one of the very interesting thing about Instagram is hashtag. The younger generation would really connect to this. And my favorite hashtag is wanderlust. So this is everywhere now. Earlier, when Instagram started, there were restrictions of 30 hashtags. Now the restriction is of about only 5 hashtags. But that is fun. It is one of the reasons that I travel so much. So coming to the serious part, why I travel, why do I really travel so much? So a few years back, decades back, I read a quote from Benjamin Franklin, and it said, "Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." So I believe that there are two things in life which everyone should always do. First is reading, and second is traveling. These are the two most important things which I feel which can shape our lives and which shape our thoughts. So the thing is, I'm an avid reader and I love to read. And when I when I read this quote, I understood. I realized that reading is really important. So reading a book is like you are reading it at your in your bedroom or a living room on a couch. So when you're reading, the thing happens that when you're reading, the imagination happens and you travel a lot through the book as the author takes you through the story, whether it's fictional, non-fictional, biography, autobiography, whatever maybe it is. And it's wonderful that you are at one place physically, but your mind and imagination takes you to across the world and universe and not what places. So I felt that if it is that when I read a book, I can travel so much. So I reverse thought came to my mind that if I travel a lot, I can write a book, and that book might be my life. So that was the thought, and that's why I read a lot and I travel a lot. So that was the thing. And then, if we were meant to stay in one place, we would have roots instead of feet. Trees cannot travel because they have roots. Only few species of trees they can, in search of some nutrients and water, they travel. But humans have feet, so we must travel. The feet are there for some reason, and we should travel. And another important aspect is that be a traveler, not a tourist. Because a tourist goes to see the tourist spot, but a traveler always see whatever comes on the road, on the path, and learns from the people, from the stories, from the atmosphere. So my learning is that be a traveler. Don't be a tourist and go at spots and just click photographs and to show others. But traveler always learn from each and every aspect of the journey, and that is more important than just being a tourist and going to Eiffel Tower or Egypt, in front of the pyramids or even Taj Mahal. So instead of being touristy, just be a traveler. And I believe that traveling can happen at a nearby places also. So I make sure that every year I travel to a place where I've never been to. So it can be a small place also, not necessarily a fancy place like a Kashmir or Leh Ladakh or uh, Kerala, but it can be a small village where I've never been to. But I make sure that I at least travel a new place where I've never been to. Okay, so there is something called haiku in Japanese. So I have written the meaning of haiku. Most of you must have known about it, but those who don't know, so haiku is a Japanese poem of 17 syllables in three lines of 5, 7, and 5, traditionally evoking images of the natural world. So it could also be a poem in English written in the form of a haiku. So there is a wonderful book called The Narrow Road to Opu. So जैसे हिंदी में मुहावरे होते हैं, संस्कृत में सुभाषित होते हैं. So in Japanese there are haikus, and there are this book is a compilation of 50 wonderful haikus by Matsuo Basho, who talks about nature a lot, and it is translated by Donald Keeney. It's a wonderful book, and I would like to share a haiku or the translation of it from the book. So there was this young Japanese traveler, and he was traveling on a foot from one place to another, one village to another village. And while traveling, what happened is that he came to a place where there were two paths, and uh, he was confused that which path would lead to his destination out of those two paths. So he for directions he looked around, and there was this old farmer working in his farms, and this young Japanese traveler, very humbly, Japanese are very humble people. They respect others a lot, and elderly they respect even more. So he went to this farmer and asked him very politely, "Can you please tell me that which is the shortest way to go to the next village? I want to go to this village, so and so. So which is the shortest way?" And the farmer says the right one is a shortcut, and the left one is a long cut. So it's a long path. So the young farmer, the young traveler asked the old farmer, "So how much time would take to me go from the shortcut, and how much time the time would be to go from the longer path?" So the farmer thinks for a moment, and he says, "If you take the shortcut, you will take like 2.5 hours, and if you take the long path, it will take 1.5 hours." So he says, "How is that possible that the longer path is taking short time, 1.5 hours, and the short path is taking longer time, 2.5 hours?" So he says, "It's not just crossing the road, it's traveling, and you will be observing things on the shortest path. You will be looking at the river, you will be looking at the skies, the plants, the trees, the butterflies, the birds. So how you see things, that is more important." And I really believe that this is very important. When you are traveling, it's not about the destination. So it's about the journey. And recently I also read somewhere that when people say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But recently I read that it's not about the journey also, it's about what you become during the journey. And that's really a wonderful thought, I believe. So I'll start sharing my travel experiences with you. So I'll start with ruins. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm an old soul because I like old things like a typewriter or an ink pot or old furniture and record player and Polaroid cameras. So I have all this stuff as a just like a common man. I like old things. So I have a typewriter, I have a Polaroid camera, I have a record player, these old things. And being an architect, being into the field of architecture, I like old things like Khandar and old Vadas, old temples. I really love such ruined things. So I'll introduce my journey through the ruins. I'll show you some photographs of the journey. So this is a photograph, if you can see on the screen. Uh, it's one of the most wonderful architect from one of the most wonderful architecture places. It's in southern India. Uh, Hampi in Karnataka. So it's a World Heritage Site, and I believe that every Indian must visit this place. It's a wonderful place and marvelous architecture. UNESCO World Heritage Site it is. So when you look at these places, this is a wonderful architecture, recognized as World Heritage Site, and you see why. So in architecture, there is called fundamentals of design or basic design, where we learn about symmetry, focus, rhythm, pattern, And you see all these principles of design in Hampi. And it's a marvelous world class architecture, you would say, like Taj Mahal, it has everything, and there is such beauty in each frame of that places that you just wonder how much time you can spend there, and there is depth, and it just evokes emotion in you. It's not just like a structure or a building, but it's architecture. So art moves you, architecture moves you. That's the beauty of it, and that's what it is supposed to do. It inspires you, it motivates you. That's the beauty of it. So on one side they are building this marvelous architecture. Wherever I travel, I always look for the blessings of the sky. And I found these ruined structures, broken, and seen so many ages, since so many years and centuries it has been there. And look at this. Look at the light coming and falling on this brick and the texture of it. That's really, really wonderful. I feel so. And no matter where I go, even in my practice, architecture practice, I look for the sky, I look for the sun and nature. The glimpse of the nature is really, really important, which makes us human. So look at, I mean, this is wonderful. This is crazy architecture. I mean, the ruins are so beautiful. I imagine how wonderful it would be when these structures are complete, like how beautiful they must be. It was a golden era, Vijayanagara. That was wonderful. And on one side, they are building such beautiful architecture, which I showed. It's the world class architecture. And then you see there's something like this. Like, and Hampi is like very, very harsh terrain, hot and dry climate, and boulders and rocky terrain. So when we see mountains, so I've been brought up in Nashik, Maharashtra. So I always mountains mean soil and greenery and vegetation and beauty. But when I went to Hampi, it was like all harsh terrain, boulders and dry and rocky and very, very tough terrain. And they have built such beautiful structures over there. And look at this. I'm more interested into the things like this. Why someone is going there, putting four huge pillars of stones and then covering it and putting like and and it's not a marvelous architecture, but there is the person is trying to tell that, see, I was there and you cannot ignore me. And I feel that I connect to that thing, that it's okay if I do not create very wonderful architecture, amazing structures, but something different which will move people, which will inspire people. So I found in Hampi this kind of structures, and there are more examples like this. Like at the top of the world, there are just these very harsh terrain. I I mean, one cannot imagine why this person would climb all the way up and break these huge boulders or carry these columns and put four columns and four beams over there. And actually, it is not feasible to reach there nowadays. How these people did that, that was really amazing. So they really wanted to make a mark that I was there. And I feel that's really important in everyone's life, that we should make something different. We should create a mark, no matter how small or big it is. And look at this, at the edge of the world. Like, why is the question? Why? And there is no specific answer for it. I haven't got it, but it feels that, yeah, one should do such kind of thing. At the edge of the world, they are making small structure, but you cannot ignore it. You cannot miss out it. And that's the beauty of it. Okay, so when I travel, either I travel, do a solo traveling, or one of my friends. So this is a friend of mine, Ankit. He's from Haryana. He's also an architect. And these are the spaces. Like in Hampi, they are all are ruined structures, but still there is this warmth of it that people just be what they are. They love to be. And he's just looking through our itinerary where we are going to next place, and it's amazing. It's shaded also. It's sunny also, and it gives you this protection also, and makes you more humane. That's the beauty of architecture. And then there are places where this is a staircase leading to nowhere, like leading to the heaven, leading to the sky, because it's all ruined. So the staircase is one of the most stable structure in any building, and the whole palace is collapsed, but only the staircase is there, and it's really wonderful. Only staircase. And look at this. This is Hampi. In the background, there is very, very harsh terrain. There are boulders. And then they have created this, shaded pathway for the villagers or the people from the kingdom to just to walk by, because lot of sun in Hampi. So, and this just merges the the human intervention is in a such subtle way that there are these coconut trees also, and then there's this harsh terrain also, and it feels like the pathway is just growing from the earth, and that's what how architecture should be. That's what the beauty of architecture is. Just, I mean, just look at this. This is a one of the temple complex, Vittal temple, near the Vittal temple complex. And when I went there, I realized this is so wonderful. I mean, if this is the temple and this is the background, and these are like shops and kiosks and stalls. Like we nowadays, if you go to the temple or a mosque, there are people who are selling things like flowers and coconut and prasad and all the puja samagri. So this is like that space, and I was sitting there, and I realized that a thought came to me. It would be so wonderful if stones could speak, you know. If these stones could speak, they would have told us the stories, like how the place was there earlier during its peak era, and how the horses and the people would come over here in the bazaar and they would buy stuff and sell stuff, and there would be a buzz in this bazaar. It would be so wonderful. And when I was imagining this, the thought came to me, and then I realized stones actually they do speak. These non-living things are not non-living things. They are not dead. They actually are living objects, and they could speak to us if we spend time with them. If we give time, pause, stop, and listen to them, they would definitely tell us the stories. And that was a great realization for me when I was traveling in this place. And I really believe that these non-living things, they do speak, and they're amazing. And stones do speak, bricks do speak, they're amazing. Okay, so this is one of the favorite structures of mine in Hampi, and everyone. This is a chariot. It is carved in monolithic stone. It is one stone, and it is carved in one piece. And I believe our ancestors were genius. I mean, they were the geologists. They knew the geography. They knew architecture. They knew engineering. They were really amazing. They were carvers. I mean, they were scientists. They were all rounder and genius. And architects have this habit of keeping a human or a whomsoever for a scale to understand. So Ankit is actually 6 feet 2 inches tall, and you can see how tall that chariot is. And it's and look at the carving and the detailing done on this stone. And it's not a very soft stone like Jaisalmer, which we find in Rajasthan. Okay, it's a hard stone, and they have carved like it is like wood. And all the details, if you see, you know, they are all wooden details. Even the wheel of the chariot, and this axle is there, and there is a gap in this. So the thing is that if the chariot could move, it would start rolling. You know, it's that detailed carved. It's amazing, and there is this a an element which helps the wheel to be at one place. It should not fall off. So it's like a working chariot. They have gone into that details, and they have carved in so much. So, and this chariot is on the Indian 50 rupees note also. If you go to Hampi now, there is a barricade around it. And we were lucky that during that time we visited this place in 2011-12, and there were no barricades, and we could touch it, and we could see the beauty of it, the details. Now you cannot go so near to this. Now the thing is, when we were there, we went to Hampi in the month of May, because we were students. We wanted to save money, and you know, we went into an off season, so there was scorching sun. So there were nobody around, just both of us, and we were appreciating this chariot for around 40-45 minutes. I'm not joking, but yeah, 40-45 minutes at least. And we were awe in this, like, wow, this is so beautiful, and this is amazing, and such an amazing work. And you could see also Vithala carved over here. It is just in the campus of the Vithala temple. Okay. So while we were appreciating this chariot, what happened was there was this young couple with their kid crossing through this campus, just passing by, and the kid must be like 4 years or 5 years old, and The kid just asked his mother, "Mama, Mama, ye kya hai? What is this?" And okay, nothing about that lady or the kid or the people what they commented. The lady said, "कुछ नहीं बेटा, बस ऐसे ही design है," and they passed away. They passed from this. They just went away. And at that moment, I realized, oh my God, this is such a wonderful structure, and they can't see it. And me being an architect, I have this eye, I have this superpower that I can appreciate this thing, and I can feel the beauty of it, and I can capture the essence, and at least try to capture what they have done, and it's marvelous thing. So I realized that architects and designers and engineers have this superpower of appreciating things, observing things, and then realizing the beauty of the things which are in nature and man-made things. So we have that superpower which a common man might not have. They would just see the carvings, but being from a technical field like an engineering or architecture or design field, it is a superpower I feel, and that's what I'm today. I'll be talking about more about it. Yeah. So this is the Vithala temple complex, and the beauty of it is that there are these stone pillars, and this is the Nritya Mandapa. So if you see the Indian temple architecture, there are parts of Indian temple architecture like entrance is there. So there is Mandapa, Mahamandapa, Antarala, Shikhara, Kalasha, and then Garbhagriha, Pradakshina path. These are the terminologies in architecture we use it, and most of us are familiar with these terminologies, I believe. And this is the Nitya Mandapa. And during those time, what used to happen, the instrument players would not play the music on the instruments, but they would play on these pillars, and each one of the pillars make a different sound of a instrument, and that is really wonderful. That is like geology. That is crazy level of engineering. And now you cannot touch these columns because Indians tourists, like, they just go and bang and hit these columns and they are breaking them. So government has stopped tourists to touch this column. But imagine that how beautiful it is carved, and the same stone is making different sounds, and that is engineering, and that is next level technology, I believe. So yeah, so the title of the talk is how to read a building. So this is what the slide, which is very important, and I would like you to tap on your superpower that is called imagination. So this is actually the temple complex, and you see that it's really amazing. There is a plinth over here, there are these columns, and then there are these chhajjas, weather shade, and then it goes to the shikhara and the kalash, and all above part is there. And this is the prangan or the campus around where the temple complex is. So I would like you to imagine that it's raining. Nowadays it's pouring. It's monsoons. It's a monsoon season, so you can relate to it. Imagine that it's pouring all over, all over. It's raining. It's raining a lot. And in Hampi it rains a lot. It rains a lot, like it pours. So imagine that there are raindrops falling from the sky, and they are falling all over, all over. You can see, and there are a few raindrops which are falling on this, on this ground. Okay, I want you to imagine a raindrop which is just falling here, and there are raindrops which are falling on the columns also, and the plinth also, and the shikhara also everywhere. So as they say that अगर भगवान को फूल चढ़ाते हैं तो फूल बहुत lucky है, right? So I was thinking that if the raindrop is falling on this ground, it is so unlucky that it just near the temple, but it is not falling on the temple. It is just falling on the ground. And the raindrops which are falling on the temple, because it is the house of the god, the abode of the god. uh, so it's falling on the temple. So the raindrop is so lucky that it is falling on this temple. So imagine that there are raindrops falling on the temple, and then there are raindrops falling on the ground. So the raindrops which is falling on the ground is directly hitting on the ground, on the earth, falling from a height, and it is getting hurt. Like there's so much pain to fall on the earth from such big height. Imagining that the raindrop has a life, and it can feel. So if you see that the water comes here now, and these are the weather shades, and the water drips down from above from the kalasha to the shikhara to all these things and the carvings, and it comes down, and then it comes down here, and it's falling, and it's coming from here also and here also, and then the rain is here also because it is windy also. So we'll go to the next slide. And when the rain is falling everywhere, and it's from the above top of the temple, the raindrops would come and would make a dhara, a streamline होके नीचे आएंगे, and they would come down, and they would fall on these parts of stones and the plinth, and then they will start falling here. Yeah, this is wonderful. They would start falling over from these inverted cones. You can see on the next image, right hand side image. They would drip, the water would drip down and it would just come down here, this niche. And that is so amazing architecture. And that's the beauty how you see the building, you know. The raindrop is coming, and when if you see in the rain, the water actually follows this path. It comes here, comes down here, and it comes to this niche. So it's just not carving, it is for the purpose. It just falls down, and there is a hole in this. There is a hole in every niche. Whatever the niches they have made, there is a hole. And through this, the water comes down and then to this wavy kind of structure, and then it goes down more, keeping the speed of the water, slowing it down, and then it touches the ground. So it is not hurt. So the builders, the architects or the designers have made the water droplet very special, that it should come slowly coming down all over the temple, and then coming down, then dripping down through these cones on these niches, and then falls down, and then it touches the ground, so that it should not hurt when it touches the earth. Very nicely it touches. And all the drops which are falling here are in pain, that they are getting hurt. And that's what the master builders, I would say, because architects is a very new term, very recent term. Earlier, they were called master builders. So they knew everything. They knew engineering, they knew structures, they knew climatology, they knew geology, they knew earth, they knew sun, they knew light. So that's the beauty of it. And that's how the water comes down and touches the earth. Look, look at here. It comes all down here. It it just slowly splashes over here, and then it trickles down from these wavy structures, and then comes down, and then it touches the earth. And how beautifully the water is traveling on the surface of the temple. That's beauty. And of course, then there are these carvings of Mahabharata, Ramayana, or all the epics and the stories of Indian culture. But I believe that it's not like if I'm an architect and if my neighbor visits Hampi or any beautiful architecture place, and they say, wow, what a carving, बहुत ही सुंदर carving की हुई थी उस temple पे. And if I go and I also being in the profession say the same way, see the same way, and say also in the same way, then there is no point me being an architect. So we have the superpower. We should know how to read a building. We should see how to see a building. And that's really amazing, that how this water droplet, raindrops come down and slowly touches the earth. And that's how these ancient people respected nature also. Nowadays, we see there is, I mean, nature is nowhere included in the thought, in the execution, or even in the process, or whatever we do. But these people were amazing people who have created such amazing, marvelous architecture. And I think one of the why this site is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, we can see that. And this is wonderful. So this is water we saw. And next we would be seeing into light. I love sun, and I could, it's very important for sun to be part of architecture. That's really important. So I would say when in the Vitthal temple complex, I went inside and the Garbhagriha was very dark. So I was looking for my torch to, have the Pradakshina path and to do the circumambulatory path, have a look at it. But then I realized when it's a step down circumambulatory path, Pradakshina path, and when I stepped ahead, I realized there is some light is coming from 8 inches by 8 inches light, and this was that. This was the light I could see, and then I realized I don't need a torch. There was nice light coming, enough light that I could walk through that passage, and this was it. It was really beautiful. And when I went ahead, I saw from this 6 inches by 8 inches light The light, the sun is falling in such a way. So the image on the left is a photograph clicked by camera without flash, and the image on the right is with flash. I must have clicked around 35 to 40 images. Then I got, because it was very dark. So, and I was at this place. It must be 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I was here. So you see, the light is fa- falling on the places where there is carving. So they have carved at places only where the light is going to fall. If you see the wall on the right hand side, it is blank. There is no carving done. It's not that they cannot do carving, but they know it's not going to be seen. So they have used very smartly the money, the energy that जहाँ पे light गिरने वाला है वहीं पे carving करो, and the amount of light which is falling is beautiful, and the architecture is amazing. You see the carving, it evokes emotion in you because you are in the temple, you are with in the vicinity of God, and that's really amazing. So they knew how the sun is going to behave, how much opening should be there. And nowadays we have the control of artificial. We cannot switch on and switch off the sun. But nowadays, if you see the designers, they do interior designers or architects, they put on ceiling the lights, and then there will be a fan which will be cutting the light. The things which we control, we cannot control them also. And these ancient ancestors of ours, they have controlled the sun in such a beautiful way, and I am really fascinated with this. It's amazing. And look at this. This is Humpy. I mean, this is harsh terrain. Like I always say to my friends and my colleagues that if the king would have asked me as an architect, like, this is a site and you build on this, I would say, please change the site. It is not buildable. But the people, the master builders, have created such wonderful architecture. I mean, such challenging stuff, terrain is there, and they have given the justice to the site, and they created marvel. Look at this. On one side, there are green paddy fields, and on the other side, it's like very harsh terrain. It's amazing. One should really, really go to Hampi. One must visit place, I would say. Look at this. This is architecture. So there is coconut trees, there is earth, there is rocky terrain, stones and boulders and trees, and then there is sky. And look at the intervention of humans. This building is talking to the sky. And what we see nowadays is such a building block, which is like a rectangular block, has no relation with the context, nothing to do with the sky, nothing to do with the earth. We can't even see the skyline, and how, look, the way the building pulls down the sky down to earth to these coconut trees, and how wonderful this is. It is a beauty to look at. I mean, no matter. And these are like markers on the markers on the map. Like this is one temple, there is another temple, and they have these landmarks, and they are so beautiful. One could relate to them, and they are not eye soaring. Like it is beauty to look at, and that's really wonderful. I believe. Now, the next thing I would like to take you to another structure, and it is in mountains. I love mountains. I love to travel to mountains, and they are wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling to be in the mountains. So this is the next structure. So if you look at it, it's very Roman and Greek, but it is in India. Okay, this is in India. It is in Uttarakhand, Dehradun, and it is built by the architect C.G. Bloomfield. So it was built in 1929. The construction started in 1927. It got completed in 1929, and it is styled in Greco-Roman style of architecture. Okay, so the Britishers built this, and it is called Indian Forest Research Institute, and it is also a heritage site. It is a wonderful structure. It is in it is Asia's biggest structure built only in bricks, only use of bricks, and it's a marvelous structure. It is so beautiful that if you click the photograph in any angle, even if you are not a photographer, the photo is going to be beautiful. Yeah, I'm not a really good photographer. I just click. I don't like to click photographs, but for my references, I click photographs. I like to breathe with the building, look at the building. But if you see at any angle, this building is so beautiful, very nicely done, amazingly done. It was a part of one of the Bollywood movies called Student of the Year. The it was shot. the student of the year was shot in this building. Yeah, Alia Bhatt's movie. So one should watch movies also. I believe we can learn from anywhere. Look at the structure. It is so nice. It is balanced. It's symmetrical. It has got eye travel. It has got emphasis and focus. Look at this from any angle. I told you from any angle you click it, it has that rhythm in it. It has that pattern in it, and it's beautiful. And I would say like it's not that only the ancient builders built. This was built in the 20th century, and Bloomfield has done a justice to this. A great and look at these patterns and so much efforts has been taken here, and this is what the corridors are like. This is the building, amazing, huge scale. I'll just run through fast and look at the light and look at these columns. So this is at the upper part, the top of it, and there are these arches and domes and vaults, and then these are the bottom. How the language of architecture is there, and everything is in brick. Everything is in brick, and just like if it's very difficult to draw also nowadays, and they have built it. They are so finely done. This is called finesse. Finesse is the word for it. And then see the proportion to the human scale of it, and then the sky and the building, how they talk, and in architecture and design they call foreground, background. How beautiful this is. It could be a straight line, but then they have these small patterns, and that creates that foreground, background. That's beautiful. And then Bloomfield has created these arches. Everyone knows that arches are like this. The load transfer is this way, but he has done this curvature also from the bottom. And and the thing was, he has brought the bricks out from this side also, and this is so beautiful. That's the detail. It's just not the arts just carrying the load, but the architecture which creating beauty with it. And look at all the details. It's like everything is drafted by hand, or people cannot do it computer aided drawings also, such kind of things. And if you see, look at the thing, the detailing of it, how the arches are carrying the domes, and the domes upper here, the header, the part of the brick which is header is aligned with the header. How beautiful it is done, and this is really amazing. एंड नाउ डेज एनीवन वुड से कि वो टेम्पल था, टेम्पल के लोगों में तो इतना करते थे, तब कुछ काम नहीं था, पेशेंस नहीं था, तब उन्होंने इतना कार्विंग किया, इसलिए हम्पी का टेम्पल वैसा था, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द वाटर यूज्ड टू कम. But if you see the detailing of IFRI, Indian Forest Research Institute, this is wrought iron, this is the rainwater catcher, and this is the drain pipe of it. And we will see how the water raindrop travels in Bloomfield's building also. So if you see, the raindrop is caught from the flat roof terrace, and then it comes caught by the rain catcher. It comes the pipe, and there is a niche in this band so that the pipe goes through. This is such a wonderful detailing. Like builders do just above it, but this is such a wonderful detailing. And he has brought the water from this coming down, and when it comes down slowly, the water comes, and it is just touching the earth very gently, and then goes to the drain. And even Bloomfield has done that, and he was not even Indian, But the sensitivity is important. Look at how beautifully he has brought it, and this is what the comparison is. So it was done in late ancient times. It is done in 20th century. Then why can't we do it now? That is my question. Okay, we should still do it. Now I'll go run fast. I happened to visit Rajasthan few years back, and I was in Jodhpur, and I was there for a week, and I was just walking. I walk a lot during my travel, and I found that there are these thresholds which are really amazing, and they're beautiful. I'll just run through those images. So thresholds are just like doors, like a transition space between two places. So if you look at that beauty of it, the culture of India, look at this door. Like it's a brown door, and then the arch is the blue color going with the brown, and then there's so much stories. If you read this door also, there are so many survey numbers. So we can see it. So it's Om Shanti Nivas, and the residents are like Ramesh Prakash Sharma, Lalan Sharma, Vicky Sharma, Manu Sharma, Priyanshu Sharma. They tell the story that they are all together, they are a family, and this is the survey number. And they have seen the door must have seen so many generations of Sharmas, you know. That's the beauty of it. So, and then there is this door, and then there is this veranda, and there is this platform. That architecture is not just human beings, it's for animals also, for dogs also, for cats also. And look at the green combination and the blue combination. Me being an architect, I cannot imagine green and blue going together, but they have done it, and it's such a wonderful color. And then this, how the light, the depth of the building could be seen from here, the yellow and the blues. That's so amazing. And then there is this broken bruised door. This door, there is a door in the door. There's a small door which is fallen. So it has seen generations, the history, and if we give time, it will tell the stories. And then there are birds up above, they are perching over there. There's some spot for the birds also. We don't think about birds nowadays while building buildings. I mean, we don't know how did we turn in this way, the new era. But yeah, but this is so beautiful. It's broken. There is trash, there is garbage behind this. But the door must be so royal, must have lived such a wonderful life. And then there is some humor, like someone has written a darwaja or darwaja, like nomenclature we do in architecture or in engineering. So I don't know why there's a. It must be a toilet. It is for sure a toilet because it's like a ventilator. So they have written darwaja or a darwaja, and there is a gatekeeper also. So culture is so funny. It is amazing. It's fun also, and then there is this beauty. Yeah, there's architecture, and then there's human intervention. The saris, look at the colors. With the saris, without the saris, the architecture is blending. And when nowadays, when we see there are clothes hanging in the balconies, in so many balconies, in so many buildings, it just makes them ugly. I mean, architects, we are the designers. I am the community, part of the community, and we don't even think about where to dry the clothes. We don't think about the client. And but look, this is so nice. The colors are so beautiful, and architecture is becoming more beautiful with the saris. And then this is the door of a school, and it's a girls' school. So इधर लिखा है शासकीय बालिका उच्च माध्यमिक विद्यालय. Uh, that is this Jodhpur New Mandi, and it is very beautiful, green, and it was a Sunday. That's why the school door is shut. I remember it was a Sunday, so it was shut. And then this is like, we know, looking at the facade of the building, which neighbor of ours eats the pan. He's just spitting over here and the mark is there. And there are poncho, and these are the beautiful chajjas. So nice. And these shades of the beautiful green and blue and amazing things. And there are these old gullies, you know, and old bikes, and it's nostalgic. Even you are not there, you can feel it. That this is such a wonderful stories these lanes must have felt. Look at the arches and the walls and the passage and the structure all around and the carvings. I mean, I'm not talking about carvings because you can see them, and they are wonderful carvings. Yeah. And I happened to meet a young boy in Jodhpur, and he was telling me that, can I show you Jodhpur? He was in fifth grade, and I want to tell you the story about this person because his name was Prem. So he asked me whether he can show me the Jodhpur, and I said, okay, but क्या तू पैसा लेगा ना तो मैं तुझे दिखाता हूँ, तो मुझे दिखाना. बोला नहीं, मैं पैसा नहीं, पैसा लेता हूँ लेकिन ठीक है, मैं फॉरेनर्स को भी दिखाता हूँ. I you know take the foreigners also to see Jodhpur, and he knew around 6 to 8 languages. So I asked him, so you must be getting a lot of money from the foreigners. He said, yeah, I do get a lot of money from the foreigners. So how much do you charge? He said, I don't take Indian rupees. I don't take Indian rupees. So then what
Two
do you
minutes
do?
left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2 minutes.
Yes, sir. So what do you do? And he said, I don't take Indian rupees and I just take the foreign currencies. And when I would grow up, I would go to those foreign countries and would spend money. That's money I would spend. So that was the frame, I would say. And this is the frame's house. And I happened to go to visit this terrace and I saw this Jodhpur from there, and it was wonderful. And this is what it is. And this is Prem. This is me. He's wearing my Ray-Ban. A very smart guy. And on this note, so what? My question is, I traveled so much, and then what? Me being an architect, what I did. So I built my own studio after this, and this is my residential part, and this is my studio. So I'll just go in a minute about two projects of mine. So this is what my studio looks like. This is the studio part where I'm currently sitting right now. It's an exposed brick structure, and I'll just go through. These are the few images of my studio from inside. These are the windows and these are the doors. You can connect to my journey. And this is a skylight. And in our studio, there is an attic, and the sun comes inside, the ray of light. This is the structure, and this is a staircase. This is the arches we have designed, and this is how it looks. This is inspired from the Nashik of architecture, the Wada architecture of Maharashtra, and we have got few awards from on this structure. This is how it looks. This is the interiors. You can check on websites or Instagram of our page. And these are our main heroes which do this wonderful work. Without them, we cannot do anything. We can do things on paper, but these are our people who make things. And one of our recent projects, a farmhouse we have done, it's called Brick Mansion. I'll just go through quickly in 30 seconds. This is what it is. It's at the foothills, and this is my practice. This is what we have done. This is an award-winning project. It's all natural building materials. Now you can see what inspired me and how the inspiration has been seen in the work. This is the project. These are the bedrooms with a courtyard and windows, beautiful windows. This is how it looks. This is another. This is the courtyard, open to sky. This is how the structure looks in the evening. These are the surroundings. That's the pool side. This is from the back. This is what I've learned through the. This is not. I wouldn't say I designed it, but I got inspired from Indian architecture, and I happened to get to build this structure. And this is in the evening during the sunset. This is total our design, our construction. This is how it looks in the evenings. How the sun comes in the ray of light on this. In artificial light, the same wall looks like this. And we were covered on a magazine, international magazine, our project. So I believe every journey gives us memories to cherish and a few lessons never to forget. And I hope you enjoyed my journey, and thank you for being part of my journey, and a happy journey for your journey. And I wish you all a good luck. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. I'm done.
Thank you, Amol, for this wonderful journey. We
Yeah.
really appreciate your artistic view,
Yeah.
and it's a totally different topic we had today.
Yes.
Uh, we will go for quickly few questions, unless
Sure.
Girija want to summarize what he spoke. Girija, would you like to summarize what Amol spoke today? And we will take one or two quick questions.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, please identify yourself and go ahead with the questions. Any architect in this attendee today except Girija? We invited few, but unfortunately the timing doesn't suit them. But Girija, I think I would request you to summarize today's talk.
I think it's another.
Shall I, shall I ask
Yeah.
one question?
Yeah, sure,
Is
sir.
it?
Yeah, well, please,
Yeah.
please go ahead, Vilas.
Wow, myself is Vilas Kulkarni.
Yes,
Actually,
sir.
I am working in water and wastewater, but whatever you shown, it was quite interesting as well as useful for me. Whatever you shown or described is all which sustain till date.
Yeah.
But what about if some failures are there? आपण ज्याला अपयशी म्हणतो, like
Yeah.
that structures are there and means although it was planned for a good thing, but it was not happened like that. Any case, if you know, just wanted to ask.
Okay, so in the past, if we see, there would be very few. I mean, because I believe that the history, if we see, they were always been successful. But as we went into the modern technology, we have failed drastically because we became less sensitive to nature. I believe so. Otherwise, if we give time to design, if we do the shortcut, we are going to fail. And of course, in modern architecture also, there are so many places where we try to do something, but it fails. It happens. And I think we have to be more precise about it and do like Leaning Tower of Pisa, if we say it was an ancient structure, but Leaning Tower of Pisa, the foundation was not built properly or the grounding was not done, and it's leaning. So that is there. It's a failure, but still it's beautiful, I would say. And people go there to see that it's going to collapse someday. But yeah, Leaning Tower of Pisa is a great example for your question, I believe so. And it
Addition to
definitely,
that, there are some caves which
yeah.
are built partially and then they left because of maybe stone quality or other
Yeah,
reason. Yeah,
like the temple of Konark temple or Surya temple.
right.
Even in, yeah, that is there because the corrosion of the sea is corroding the stone totally, and then they realize, okay, this stone is not good for the thing, and the uh, murti sthapna or the garbhagriha never happened because they realized this is not a feasible thing. So yeah, you are right. There are examples, and it's a good point. I would study that also now. What was the failure of it? Yeah, that's a wonderful
Thank
aspect
you.
to look at it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions?
This is
I think
Makarand
we'll
Vaidya.
stop there. Yeah, please go ahead.
Makarand Vaidya. Actually,
Yes, sir.
my question, not question, just I noted,
Yes,
observed.
yes, sir.
You have touched the architectural aspect of those, all those things, whatever you have shown. Okay. But have you consulted or studied Indology?
No, sir, I haven't yet, but I have few mentors who guide me through that somehow. But I haven't been in this Indological term in depth. I would be frank. There is this Puneche Degulkar sir आहेत. He is one of my mentors, and he is his subject is one of that, and he helps me into that whenever I need.
You
But
have given the reference of Deglurkar. That is sufficient to understand that you
yeah,
have already covered it. So, the
yeah.
नाम ही काफी है and
Thank you, sir.
that वजन जबरदस्त वजन है.
थँक यू सर. आणि
Yes, yes.
देगलूरकर
Congratulations.
सर, थँक्यू सो मच सर.
Congratulations.
थँक्यू सर. देगलूरकर सरांचं एक मंदिर कसे पाहावे असं एक पुस्तक आहे
Oh,
मराठीत. खूप सुंदर
oh,
पुस्तक
I
आहे.
remember that only.
येस, येस, येस.
I
अँड
had been to on the field work also.
wow, great. I have traveled Khidrapur temple with Deglurkar sir.
Wow, fantastic.
And it was a treat. It was amazing.
It was a treat.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I think we have 4 minutes. We can take last question, or any architect would like to summarize today's talk. Umeji, if Girija around, I think she can summarize.
Anagha is it? Anagha.
Anaga, sorry, Anaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
So
Anaga. Please
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
love the topic. Uh, it was a nice open to an eye to know how the structures were earlier and how we view the world as being in this field, and comparing to the old structures and the new structures, we can vary how the structures have changed and the detailing and all have changed, and we need to precise the details now, I feel. The carvings and the structure, the natural light, considering the climates and the structure. I mean, according to the city and the places, according to the soils present over there, how they have created the structures. It was really beautiful. And I think we should continue carrying the architecture now as well.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Anagha.
Okay.
That was
Thank
great
you,
of you.
Anaga. Thank you. Because you have rightly summarized. And definitely, I found his office also very interesting, totally differently designed. So, we must visit one of these days to
Definitely, sir.
understand.
Definitely.
Because this is the first of its kind lecture, rather artistic lecture we have organized. But I think now I am motivated to organize it more, like how to see the temple is
Wow.
what Makarand has given the example. So how to view different architectural monuments that we have in the country. Probably those series Amol can help us inviting different guest speakers,
Definitely, sir.
and this will
Definitely, sir.
definitely will be an eye-opening topic. So thank you very much, Amol, for
Thank
this
you, sir. Thank you
wonderful
for having
presentation
me. I'm
today.
really humbled.
We
Yeah.
really appreciate your
Thank you, sir.
studious nature,
Thank you, sir.
and we will meet next month for another exciting lecture by Dr. Kharul. Dr. Kharul is going to talk about the membranes, and Dr. Kharul have extensively worked on membranes. He was ex-NCL, started his own business, and now he is manufacturing those membranes. From one side you put air, from the other side nitrogen will come, oxygen will come, different gases will come. So this is what the innovation he has utilized for his product. So thank you very much, Amol, and we will meet definitely next month. Today's
Thank you,
lecture
sir.
is over. I
Thank you,
request
sir.
Makaran to stop recording.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for